Here we go. We are live, Richard.
Are we live?
We are live. Yep. 14 seconds into live, and already we have one viewer. Thank you for joining us, whoever you may be. Feel free to come in with your comments, your questions, or anything.
I think it's me.
Yep.
I think that's me.
Oh, there's two on there now. Right, Rich. I'm just going to play your intro music. I've got to welcome you to the live chat. So here we go.
I drove my tractor through your haystack last night.
You are.
Your dog took a boil.
You are. There you go, Rich.
Thank you very much for that, Rob.
That wasn't your normal intro. I normally play I Am a Cider Drinker.
You do actually,
But I
yeah.
thought I'd do something different.
Funny enough, I think one of David's videos he had a tractor in it, which I uploaded, and I thought, well, rather than having David's face, we'll stick a tractor on it because, you know, just for a change. And if you
can't read and I can't write, but I can drive a tractor.
I'm just uploading a video
before we get some viewers on. Why are pirates called pirates?
Because they are.
Oh, you slime ball! Hi, Christopher. Thank you for joining us.
Do you want to come on, join us? Click on the link. Rob will let you in. This is you know, it's better than making videos, really. Having a chat. I'm just uploading a video at the moment. I'm waiting for it to upload. It's about the Mandela effect. And the heavens and the heaven. Can you hear me?
Yeah. There's a bit of an echo on your voice, Rich. Are you there?
Interesting. Oh, we don't know what we're talking about. Am I echoing, am I?
No, not now, you're not, but you were. No, you're fine now.
Yeah, I'm flipping over because I'm uploading a video. Now, I've got an old, it's called just John Brown's Self-Interpreting Bible. It's Family Bible. And he was around he was born in 1722. And his Bible, I'm assuming it was a King James.
You're echoing again.
Not any difference, but it says, have you got your echo feed on or off on StreamYard?
Right.
Yeah, there's a button you can push.
I'm looking. I can't see any buttons. Like just says Mike. Is it Mike? I need to click on. Mike, Cam, guests, some more.
Yeah.
That's all I've got on my screen. Let's see what it says on more.
Have you got settings?
Settings, yeah. I can go to settings now.
Have you got
General
echo
camera
cancellation
audio
on?
Pardon?
Have you got echo cancellation on?
I'm just going to go to. I'm assuming that's under audio settings.
Yes, it is.
Right. Click on audio. Bear with me, everybody. Yeah, echo cancellation is ticked.
Okay. So am I still
on mine? And it automatically adjusts mic volume. But yeah, definitely echo cancellation is ticked, my friend.
So am I echoing, am I?
You're not echoing now, but you were earlier. I'll let you know if it does it again. You sound very good now.
Like I say, I've sort of learned to not have YouTube on while live streaming.
Well, I turned my YouTube section off. It says recommended to turn it off while you're streaming.
Yeah, but I'm actually uploading a video. I got 25 seconds left, but it's about this. There's just something quite curious because this Bible, the Reverend John Brown's Bible would have been written between 1722 and 1800 or whenever it was he died. I think he lived for quite a old age, but he's got sort of like a footnote, and he mentions heavens in the footnote. Now, I've sort of explained briefly my experience with the Holy Bible, and I remember it as the heavens when I was a child, because we used to recite it in assembly. You'll remember the good old days of, you know, when they used to teach Jesus in school.
Right,
And,
RE, religious education. It was all Christian stuff, wasn't it?
it was called religious
RE,
education, and then it
religious
was changed to
education.
something called divinity when I went.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
that.
and then when I went to secondary school, they called it divinity.
Right.
That's what it was named. So, but I just thought it was quite interesting that this Reverend John Brown, when he had this like summary of Genesis 1 at the bottom of this page, that he actually does in it, he does mention firstly heaven, but then after the stars, the heavenly stars, or the stars of the heaven. So the reference he was on about was that the heaven is where the stars are. Only there are more than one heaven. There is more than one heaven. And a little bit further on, he actually mentions the word heavens. So, you know, I wouldn't get too het up about it. I just thought it might be interesting for people that were curious about the Mandela effect in the heavens, because I think I got a feeling we were taught from the NIV, the New International Version.
Right.
And I've only been reading
Genesis 1 verse 1, the very first verse of the Bible. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Yeah.
That's the first verse, isn't it?
Not in the King James, it's not. And that's what the kerfuffle's all about. That's what the Mandela effect is all about. It's all about the King James, because in NIV, and I got another video. I went to my local St. Mary's Church, and I've actually got waiting on a video to upload a video, but it's quite a long one. I did a walk around, and they've got, I think it's the New International Version in there, and it says in the beginning God created the heavens.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's in the NIV. But there are people that are questioning the KJV, the King James Version, which just says the singular heaven. So
I always thought it was heavens as in the plural.
Well, I did, but I don't know what translation I was reading when I was a child. And what I have been using for years now, 5 or 6 years, is I've just relied on my little Gideons, which is an NIV, but it's only got the New Testament.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm just waiting.
The Gideon Bible.
Eh?
I got given we all got given Gideon Bibles when I was at school.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to do that now, would they?
Oh no, probably out.
They'd have to give a copy of the Quran, the Bible, and what's the other one? The
Yoga.
All the Book of Mormon. They can't just do one anymore. It's got to be everything.
It's not called the Book of Mormon anymore. I think they're not called Mormons anymore. I think they're called the Church of Latter-day Saints.
Right, but they've still got the Book of Mormon, though.
Is that what it's called? Is it?
Well, that's what I always knew it as. I'm sure that's what they still call it. I don't know.
Right. So I've just published my it's called Bible Mandela Heaven, John Brown's Self-Interpreting Bible. So I've just uploaded it, and I can come out of YouTube now because I won't watch it yet. But also in this church, they actually have the NIV, a big thick copy of the NIV, and there's two parts of Revelation missing. It's Revelation 13, 14, and 15, which is he also calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on his right hand or on his forehead.
Yeah.
So no man could buy it up to 666. That is missing out of this Bible. I actually videoed it.
Oh, that's interesting. Very interesting.
So and I questioned. They have the verger there. I think it was the verger. He was hoovering the altar, okay? And I went up to him and I questioned him about could he remember the heavens or the heaven? And he said, yeah, it was I can't remember what he said. I videoed it and I questioned him, and then as soon as I mentioned Mandela effect, he went, ooh, and then he didn't really want to get into that. He's quite an old chap. I don't want to talk about things like that. But yeah, he mentioned that he had always been reading the NIV, so he wasn't familiar with Revelation 13, 16 to 18. Hello, boys here. Come on for a chat. So he wasn't familiar with, he didn't know anything about the Mark of the Beast. He'd never read the Mark of the Beast.
Never read about it.
No.
That's.
It was omitted. I videoed it. I have actually videoed it, and I'll probably upload it tomorrow, actually. But also in the church, have you heard of the 1,000-year, the J, 1,000 missing years of Jesus? Have you heard of that?
I haven't actually heard about that, but what I have heard is that the timeline, our history, that they have actually pushed us on 1,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
Of like tutorial and all that type of thing. That the timeline that we actually live in is actually 1,000 years more than what it should be. Now I haven't really looked into that, you know, too strongly. I think there's a guy I've been looking at. His YouTube named, I think it's Divergent, something like that, and he talks about all these rock formations that have got like faces and animals large.
Yeah.
And like it's really interesting, and I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I've watched a few things like that, like and the giant trees and things like that. But yeah, I won't get
petrified, turned into stone.
Well,
all petrified.
I mean, there's quite a similarity between like a body lying down and some of the rock formations. There's quite a similarity, but this is the thing. There's a lot of stone, well, sedimentary stone like limestone and a sandstone are sedimentary stones. Now, within sedimentary stones, they're generally formed under the sea, or at least underwater. Limestone is formed under the sea, and within that you get things like shells, little organisms, sort of like wood lice, chiggywigs. There are fossilized.
What did you say? Chillywigs?
Chiggywigs.
What the hell is chiggywigs?
That's my beloved they used to call wood lice chiggywigs. Yeah.
Okay.
But limestone, which is basically formed under these seas and oceans, is sedimentary rock, and it's sort of like life that's died, settled to the bottom along with dust, and it calcifies over time.
Yeah.
So in a lot of these, it's quite necessary to understand what the rock type is and what it contains, because if it contains shells in a sedimentary form, that there's no way that can actually be like a rock, like a being that has been turned into a rock, like a monster that's been turned into a rock. It's a sedimentary build-up.
Voice has come on and said, post-flood, the rocks were alive. Fallen giants? ? It just seems that it's not just like in one place. There's one or two. They're all over the world, in every country. And you know, you can say, oh, these rocks have been formed due to weathering, but there's no mistaking the fact that it's a definite face, and there's no way you get weathering which actually creates those sort of very, very meticulous like features. It's very interesting. I need to look into it a bit more. I do need to look into that a bit more.
Yeah, but I wouldn't spend too much time, Rob, on it myself, because all it can do is it just adds another well, I'll tell you what we could talk about is the divide. It just adds another something else to dilute our attention.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know what
You
you're
know,
saying. But
away
it's
from
interesting
what.
all the same. It's very interesting.
Oh, it's
It's like
interesting.
all
Yeah,
these,
but this is the thing about. Hold it. This is the thing. If you've got a petrified human being, okay, a giant, and you know something that looks like a petrified giant. The crucial thing is to know the stone type. Pfizer.
What's that? Data released with deletion syndrome is a disorder that typically causes severe intellectual disability. Most affected individuals do not speak. What the hell's that? Do you understand that, Rich?
Well, I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to avoid talking about anything to do with the pharmacia. I'm trying to avoid anything to do with that because, well, personally, I think I'm better off using. I think it's one of the things that we're better off not really talking about to any.
Yeah. Well, I only brought it up because I don't even know how it actually came into the conversation, but it was just something I came across the other day when I was browsing the YouTube, and I thought, oh, that's something I've not looked into before. But like you say, you can get a bit carried away with everything, can't you?
What you want about now? You want about that comment you just slung up? Hello, Paul.
No, I'm on about the petrification of like all these giants and they call them titans.
Yeah, I mean,
it's all very interesting.
The thing is, Rob, is firstly know the stone type. Now, if it's something like a granite, which is basically high heat, it's a metamorphic. I think it's like a metamorphic. There's 3 stone types: igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary. Now, if you've got like a giant looking mountain, and the mountain is made out of sedimentary stone, you can delve into the stone, and if there's like shells, because sedimentary stone is formed underwater, and the pressure of the water and the pressure of the layers and layers and layers and layers. It's why if you closely look at stone, and particularly fresh stone, you can see layers and striations in the stone. That indicates it is a sedimentary stone. So if somebody's picking out a giant in a sedimentary stone, that is just a natural erosion. It can't really be anything else. It can't if it contains. It can't be anything else. It's sedimentary, has striations. Whereas an igneous rock or a metamorphic rock, now metamorphic is changing from one thing to another. So with your metamorphic rock, the possibility might be that these Nephilim, or whatever they were, these giants in the good old days, or the bad old days, metamorphosized from beings into rock. Okay, so there might be something in. I haven't thought of this before, but there might be something in the name of the metamorphic rock. There's 3 stone types, like I say: igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary. So your metamorphic.
I'm very impressed at your knowledge here.
I'm a stonemason, mate. Not a Freemason.
Of course, how could I forget? I always thought you were a stonemason.
No, I'm not. I 100%. I am a stonemason, 100%. 100%.
I know.
100%. There is a theory that Jesus Christ was a stonemason as well. Funny enough.
Well, I know Joseph was a carpenter. I do know that.
He could bang nails into bits of wood. But there is. I did come across. I've come across a couple of videos where they've actually sort of given some sort of evidence to suggest that he actually built walls. Well, you don't build walls out of wood. You build walls out of stone. A wall built out of wood is called a fence.
Well, yeah, more of a fence, really. A wall built out of wood would be a fence, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I've never heard of a wall built out of wood, but fences, obviously.
Well, yeah, you've got wooden houses. They've got wooden walls, timber frame buildings. You know.
Thank you, Christopher.
Oh, God bless you, Christopher. Is he off? Is he?
I don't. Well, probably. I'm not sure. But
The world is
thanks
fake.
for
Anyone
joining us.
put Paul's comment up there? The guys, the world is fake. Well, this is the thing about everything. Everything is just frequency and vibration. That's everything is. Everything exists because of frequency and vibration. So
I think I mentioned this before, Rich. It was only a few years ago that I actually started realizing, you know, like how sound works when you put all the on a flat you know, what's it called? And is it what was some, is it not, it's not sand they use, but a material they use, and it forms a pattern with the sound.
yeah, they do it with sand. You could do it with any sort of like powder, can't they, as well?
Yeah.
Richard,
I
with
thought,
all due
wow.
respect, we all change when we enter back into the earth. We all change. What do you mean? Come on, explain yourself, voice.
When we enter back into the earth. Does it mean when we die and we return to the dust?
Oh, what do you mean when we return to the soil? Well, we go back to what we were. We go back to the original contents of what we are now, which is basically we are from the earth. We are what we eat. Exactly that. Because we start off as nothing. The food we eat, everything comes from the ground.
The punishment that was inflicted upon Adam and Eve was, if you eat from that fruit, on the day you eat from it, you will die, which to God is 1,000 years, and that's why Adam lived as long as he did. But dust you are, and to dust you will return. That was God's own words.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we are earthly beings. We are from the earth. But the thing is, our conscience, our soul isn't from the earth. Our soul is from God.
Yeah.
Our soul is from somewhere else. And I can't explain it. I'll just say it's that energy that has no matter. You can't hold your thought in your hand, and that is what I see the consciousness as a thought.
Yeah.
So there's two aspects to every. It's got to be from every sentient being. There's two aspects, right from your chiggy wig up to your elephants, your giraffes, monkeys, tortoise, human beings, goldfish, everything that has a brain and nerves has the ability is classed as a sentient being, has feelings.
Oh yeah.
And if something has feelings, then it has a conscience, surely.
Well, you'd have thought so. Well, yeah.
God created it, so you know. But we were just given dominion over it.
I think as humans, we were obviously uniquely created in God's image, and as humans, we all have a conscience. I don't think animals possess a conscience.
That's the thing, yeah, conscience.
But that's what makes us very different from other creation.
Absolutely.
We are unique.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. Yeah, it is.
I just want to say at this point, Rich, just briefly change the subject because I wanted to mention about David Yates. I know you put a video up about it, and I briefly said on my last video that he's got his channel back.
Yeah,
and it's brilliant, isn't it, that he's once again able to carry on with his work.
Well, I had a thought today. You know when they say they delete your channel and they delete your videos?
Yeah, well, obviously they don't, do they?
Obviously they don't.
Because this is a year. This is going back over a year, isn't it?
Well, November the 1st was the last video. Now he's actually mentioned to me that he's had quite a few deleted. Now I don't know whether it was from that November the 1st one. The body wastes away in the grave, therefore the earth is a graveyard. Yeah, absolutely that. Yeah, absolutely that. Yeah, but this is the thing. They don't delete videos. They obviously keep them for their. And I said this years ago. They keep them for their entertainment. They look back and say, they got it, but we shut them up. That's what they're going to say.
Yeah.
They mock. They mock. They're taking the proverbial piss.
Yeah.
And they will be struck down. You watch what's going to happen. Something massive is going to happen. Something massive will happen. Something massive will happen, and they will just shrivel up.
David Yates said, didn't he, that they're going to come to some sort of legal punishment because of what they're doing to people. And
Well,
the silencing people. Yeah.
absolutely. Well, this is the thing. The legal system or the lawful system is owned. The legal system is owned by these spiritual wickedness in high places. That is the legal system. However, the lawful system is God's. So, you know, if you're going through the legal system, you know, what it takes is it's going to take the military, it's going to take the police force, and it's going to take the judicial system to all be on board with that agenda of bringing all these I don't know what to call them, all these people that are doing us ill, is to bring them to justice. The only person that can lawfully bring them to justice will be God, unless, of course, the military intervene and just wake up the police force in particular, wake up, because they're the ones that go around arresting, imprisoning, beating people up, carrying out the whims of these bankers and those that are trying to run the world. So without the police force, it's you know, it's like one person against, you know, 1,000 people, 1,000 coppers versus one. Because when you've seen it on these protests, you get 10,000, 20,000 people on a protest march. One person gets arrested and dragged out of a crowd by the police. The crowd don't. All right, so they might sort of hold on to somebody's shirt and try and hold on to them, but eventually a person will get dragged out and then beaten up quite disgustingly by the police. It's all, it's all on video.
The police are meant to serve us.
Oh, we know what they're meant to do, but they're not. There's two types of police. There's constable and there's officer, and the officer is doing the will of the corporate entities, whereas the constable is upholding common law, as I understand it. So what they've employed is officers. Basically, what is an officer? Somebody that is working for an office. So there's two types of police person, at least. And if I went to the Million Mast March of 2016 in London, and I questioned a few coppers. And on one of these coppers' badges or jackets, he had police constable and police officer. So he was, you know, he was standing on both sides of the fence. You know, he was upholding common law whilst also upholding corporate law. Yeah. Common law is fundamentally based on God's law. So, you know, but this is the thing. It doesn't matter the judicial system. It would take the whole of the rest of the world, including the military and including the police force and including every individual, to just say, listen, it's time, you know, you were brought to justice for all these ills you're doing. But it's, you know, I mean, it says in the Bible, these things must come to pass. So, you know, but I ain't just going to let somebody come and, you know, kill me just because that's what it says is going to happen in the Bible. You know, but it's
before that happens, Rich, I'm coming down to your allotment to get all your vegetables because you won't need them because you'll be gone anyway. So you know what I mean. Well,
I've already started eating rhubarb. You know, rhubarb is one of the wonder foods. Yes, I've already started eating rhubarb. Fresh.
Plenty of sugar on the rhubarb. Rhubarb crumble. That's one of my favorite.
Straight out the ground. Cut the leaf off. Oh, it's not sour, but you don't want to. Sugar's a poison, Rob.
Yeah, I know, but I couldn't eat rhubarb without sugar. I can't do it. I've got to have it in a crumble or something like that. I can't just eat rhubarb. That's just me.
Well, listen up, Rob. Back in the Garden of Eden, they didn't have an oven, they didn't have a microwave, they didn't have Pyrex dishes to make you crumble in. They just
had sugar cane though.
Sugar cane.
Yeah.
They probably, well, I don't know. Is sugar cane a natural thing, or is it something that has been man-made?
No, it's natural. Sugar cane, yeah, it's natural.
Well, God made it then. So
Well, actually, you can get, there is a lot of sugar in natural sugar in all fruit. And plants.
Absolutely. But fruit
Yeah.
sugar is totally different than processed granulated sugar.
Well,
Processed
yeah.
sugars and glucose fructose syrup and all that shit is toxic.
Anything processed is shit.
100%. So even your rhubarb, you look at the health benefits of rhubarb, you'll be amazed. And
I can believe it. It's like garlic, my friend. Hey, if I could get away with having beans on toast with garlic in, I would do it. My other half, she's not a big garlic lover. She'll eat garlic, cheesy garlic bread or garlic bread. That's pretty much it. In cooking, she doesn't like garlic at all. So I have to do 2 separate dishes when I cook. You know, one for me, one for her.
Yeah.
But there you go.
You know, this is I mean, it's easier for me because I live on my own, but and I'm vegan, so you know, I'm easy to please. But this is the thing. There's going to come a point when they are going to shut the shops down, Rob. They are going to turn the power off.
Oh yeah,
so
that's coming.
And what you're going to? So what are people going to do then when they can't cook? When their freezers pack up and they haven't got, you know, like properly stored food that can be stored for a year at least.
Yeah.
You know, for the hungry gap and things like that, and learning what you can eat, and just re-educating our taste buds to say, right, well, I can't stand rhubarb, but if you're starving to death, Rob, and you see a stick of rhubarb,
you'll eat weeds if you're hungry. You'll eat anything.
you'll absolutely eat it.
Yeah.
Shrinkflation. Put that one up. Steve Watson's comment.
I've not seen that yet. Oh yeah, I see it now. Shrinkflation is also hyperinflation. Look at your 10 food, Haley. Also, look at thick cut bread is now medium cut. Richard.
Yes.
That's just reminded me of something what Steve said there. When I was in supermarket the other day, I could have sworn I saw your name on a loaf of bread. And I took a closer look, and then I realised it said thick cut.
Oh, flipping heck.
Oh, thanks for bringing that memory back to mind, Steve. Oh God, I lost my camera.
Yeah, but
oh,
thank you for that.
You know, I'm only joking, Rich. I'm only joking.
What are you? I don't know. What do they call it? What do they call it? I'm your stooge, then, Rob. On this duo, I'll be your stooge, okay?
Sorry, look,
that's all right.
I've got the Wurzel theme music. You know, that's your intro. I've got to always do that. I've got to do that now. You know, I have. That's part of it. If I didn't do that, people would start putting on the messaging. Where's his intro music? That's going to happen. So I've got to do it now.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I do like the Wurzels.
My worry, Rich, is if you host the next live stream, what you're going to pick as my theme music, my intro. That's what worries me.
Yeah, I'd be struggling to think of anything that wouldn't offend you, Rob.
Nothing offends me, my friend. Broad shoulders. Throw it at me.
I meant that would offend you, because that would obviously, yeah. But yeah. So we've done so much. But let me go back to this missing 1,000 years, okay? Because
okay.
I'll probably upload this video.
Right, serious face. Smile away. Go on, sorry.
It's another one of those distractions, but it can be quite crucial because it might explain, or it might be a clarification. History is being pissed around with, okay? If they've knocked off or added on 1,000 years, okay?
Wow, yeah, that is. What do you reckon about that?
Right, I'm gonna in the background. I'm gonna see if I can find. Did you say Jesus then?
Pardon?
What did you say then?
I said, oh, sorry, I've lost my tablet. It slipped forward.
Right. So
Right.
I got this file here. It's called Jesus, 1,000 Missing Years. And if you do hashtag J1000 or Jesus 1000 at your leisure, there's this thing. Now, the letter J was not invented until, I haven't pinned it down. There's like rumors, or there's reports of it, the letter J being invented in the 1300s, the 1400s, and the 1500s. Okay, so Jesus Christ was not called Jesus Christ. Okay, he was Yeshua, and
Yeah.
because the letter J did not exist 2,000 years ago, which is why a lot of people get the when people call him Jesus. Okay, well, I know him as Jesus Christ, and he knows who I mean when I say my Lord. I don't call him Jesus; I call him my Lord. But I'm trying to find this. But anyway, what I've got in my, I'm trying to find it now, just so I can show you exactly what I mean. Now, I've got some terrible photographs here because they were taken indoors. But at some point in the history, the letter, the number 1 in, say, 1600, this inscribed on a, like on a tablet or a plaque in a church, for example. The letter 1 is the 1,000 years. So if you had 1600, it would be 1, or it would be I-60000. Okay, that's just 1600 in Roman numerals. Now, the number 1 has actually looked to me, and I'm a monumental mason as well. I carve tombstones and lettering, and to me, I can see that this either the J has been turned to a 1, or a 1. The I has been turned to a 1, or the 1, or the J, the I has been turned to a J, or the J has been turned to an I. Okay.
They've done this on coins as well.
They do it on coins as well, do they?
Yeah, I've seen it on coins.
So this is this is one of the theories I come across. If originally it was J in 1600, if it was J 600, okay, that would mean Jesus 600 rather than 1600. I haven't quite worked it out yet how that would alter, that would knock off or add on, or knock off. No, that would knock off 1,000 years of the date we have today. Okay.
Rich, I'm going to let you talk on for a minute because I need nature calls. You understand, yeah?
Okay.
So you carry on, or you can talk about something else for a minute if you want to. It's up to you. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Share my screen, Rob. Just give me the screen, and I'll see if I can find. I'll see if I can find this. I'll see if I can find this. A minute. Jesus, 1,000 years. Where is it? Right. No. You haven't shared the screen, Rob.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Give me the screen.
Well, that's what I just did.
No. Oh, hold it. My apologies. Great. I've got to share my screen here, haven't I? Share screen.
Yeah. He's got the whole screen in his hands. He's got the whole screen in his hands.
Right, that was my problem then. That was my fault. Share. Right.
I'll get you up on when you're linking something on your laptop, are you?
Have you given me the ability to share what I'm looking at?
I've done it now. Yeah, add to stream. It's coming up now. Bear with me.
Okay, so that's what I'm looking at. That's what I got to look at, Rob. You just there. So I'm just going to see if I can find this Jesus file, just because. and then you can go off and have your pee. Have you had it already? Have you?
Am I, Al? What do you think I've got here? A bottle or something?
I
I've
forgot where I
got all
put it.
small now, and you've got big. Right, I'll be back in 1 minute, Rich. It's all yours.
I can't remember where I put it. I got so many files. It's blah blah. Oh, there it is. Taunton Music, is that the one? Right, I got so many files. I filled this up. Anybody can have a look and see what right, these are all the videos that I'm gonna make. No, I can't find it. I'm sorry about this. I didn't expect to be right. So you're gonna have a look at what goes on behind the scenes here. I got the whole screen on my lap. Missing years. Oh, I know where I can go. No, I can't find it. I'll try and find it in a minute, but I know what I can do. I'll go and show you this. Okay. Now this is a blog I set up. It's called Jesus 1,000 Missing Years. Okay. Can you see that, Rob?
Yeah, I can see that.
So I've actually gone back. Now this was August 2019. I'd uploaded this. Now this one here, this is a really terrible picture. I got some better pictures the other day. I think it was yesterday. Now this here was actually a J. Okay. Now I can tell that this was a J. Can you see where that little spyglass thing is? This was a J. It's been manipulated into an I. Okay.
Yeah.
How do I come out of that?
What did you say this was? Did you say this is on a book or a gravestone?
Oh, this is in a church. How do I come out of that then? Okay. Oh, right. Now there's some better
I've seen something very similar where the numbers that people have took that I to mean a 1.
Yeah, right. This is a better one. Okay. This is a close up of it. It's a terrible picture because it was pitch dark in the church, but this was either a letter J. Now that is a serif. That's called a serif. These I'm pointing my finger here. These like curly bits at the top and the bottom, they're called serifs. Okay.
Yeah.
And that bit of the serif there has been added at some point or gouged in.
Right.
That is new. That bit there is newer than this bit here. Okay.
Right. That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Now I got some better examples here. This is my local church. That was a 1631. Now here, have a look at this. Okay, 1684. Now people can rip this off. You can copy these. This is 1684. Now look at the J or the 1. Now that looks like a 1, or it could be a J with a little serif there. And I can't zoom in quicker than this. This is what I was trying to find just now, because I could zoom in really close. They got that. They've also got the same down here, 1686. That's 1684. There was another one I noticed. Okay. It's just somebody.
Have you noticed though that that supposed number 1 is a lot smaller than the other numbers? All the other numbers are the same size.
They are different, yeah. They are different. Now, there's if you go to this, I'll put a link. I'll put a link in the chat if anybody's interested in it. But there's a by UAP channel. I don't know if you follow UAP channel, but he came up with. I watched a video of his, and it's this one here. That's a link to it. That sort of prompted me to go into it, and then I went into this church here, which is quite old, and take a look at this. Right, can you see that?
Yeah.
That is a J. That is a J for a what? With a dot over it, so it's a lowercase J. 1684.
Yeah.
That's a J. These are definitely J's. Okay, there's J all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can't delve too deep into it because, like I say, it's just another sort of distraction if we're trying to debunk reality. Okay, like history.
Yeah.
There's June there, look, with an I. See it?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So them pissing about with history, and you know, like David's his story, our story, his story.
Yeah.
You know, there's something that ties in so much, and there's a link there. It's called the IJ, the 1000 Missing Years. If I click on that and go to YouTube, let me know if it echoes, Rob.
Well, it's not echoing at the moment.
Well, it ain't come up yet, look. But if I copy this, right, this is the video.
Yeah.
It's on channel UAP. I've been following him for a year. He's very, very interesting. He's very, very interesting. That is called the one. What IJ? Well, it's not the I, is it? It's a 1. If you're dealing with Roman numerals, okay, which is it's not an I, but anyway, so it's 1J. Let me bang that up a bit so it can be seen. How come I've been? They mess around. He's ever so interesting, this fella. Don't see? Right, you can see that, can't you? The IJ, the 1000 Missing Years, and now this is the thing that introduced me to the this anomaly. Okay, I'll just play a little bit of it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hold it though. What I've got to do is I've got to go back into StreamYard and do settings. Do you mind, Rob, if I just play a little bit of this? I won't play it all.
Oh, no, you carry on, Rich. It's all right.
But
Yeah.
I'm going to disappear now, and I'm going to put that video on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Greetings. This video is going to change your perception of reality, possibly, maybe even radically. And the reason is the historical events as presented by the authorities, the educational institutions and such of the world have distorted the true reality almost beyond recognition. Almost. Now, these changes made by governments and authorities are the same who create the narrative as the ones who destroy libraries, burning down buildings, and creating wars, making a vacuum of history that is filled with tales of cruelty and brutality that makes people seem such that it drags down the spirit of every student learning history, thinking that the past is a collection of thousands of years of abuse and manipulation, which perhaps it is, but the manipulation isn't by the people to each other, but by the creators of this reality, this narrative that engenders hatred, suspicions, rumors, wars, and conflict that don't need to happen. It sets up people to think that one can't solve such unsolvable problems and that we're all doomed to repeat this horrible history, which is a tale of sorrows. Now, why would they do this? Why would this happen? Well, I think it's done to separate people from each other and from God. If it is meant to separate us from God, it's doing this by changing our behavior and changing our own view of ourselves, by changing our view of the past from the reality of what happened to the narrative of what didn't happen. One of the ways that they do this is maybe adding centuries or even a millennia of time known as the Dark Ages, where inexplicably very little technological advancement happened. But what did happen in the medieval times, the Dark Ages, is a litany of dark and horrible acts and cruel abuses by fiefdoms and rulers over the weak and hapless peasants who suffer one injustice after another, having no recourse and no technological capabilities or advancements until the glorious Renaissance, in which the heliocentric model and the understanding of the planetary bodies orbiting the sun spawns this science that develops the exponential growth of technology, meaning the Industrial Revolution comes along and empowers people with manufactured junk, in which our ridiculous narrative takes a turn and everything is happening so quickly that the records indicate almost everything of verifiable existence is less than 150 years old. And before that, it's akin to a fairy tale. And yet, with this dearth of evidence, they've divined facts such as tens of thousands of years of early civilization, 200,000 years ago, hominid, primitive cavemen coming out of caves in the African country of Ethiopia to then, over tens of thousands of years, slowly populate the earth with these societies of tombs and temples run by primitive idiots lacking all elegance and intelligence that would lead them to explore, discover, or develop any kind of language, understanding history, or verifiable timeline of events until maybe a few thousand years ago, when it seems history begins. So what year is based on an epic. And the starting point in most cultures was the beginning, as in Genesis, the scriptural year of creation, when God created the heavens and the earth and the people in it on the sixth day. As the beginning, this is known as Anno Mundi. That is the epic that was used to denote the year in many cultures, which was not written in the Phoenician numerical numbering, but instead the Latin lettering or some other method of writing. But this epic in recent times is counting up as well, but from the reign of a king and the year of his reign, and that was oftentimes referring to the current king of the kingdom that was writing it. But the Anno Domini epic, which is used today, AD, not CE, that's bullcrap, AD, Anno Domini, and that is the year of our Lord, or the time since the reign of the Lord of Lords, King of Kings, Jesus the Christ, Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews. They don't mean to keep it that way. That's why they have this business of CE, trying to say that it's an era, a Christian era, like a fad that goes away. But in fact, the Anno Domini year is now, it's established, but it is a little bit suspect, because when we go back before 1850, it drops off. Before 1812, it really drops off. And before that, you have 1,800 years where you hardly ever see a year listed, Anno Domini, or Year of Our Lord, and then something between 0 and 1,800 something. And so I did some additional research, and after looking through a lot of gravestones in Europe, the oldest ones that I could find had people who were born in the 1700s, but, and this is very significant, before anything relating to the 1700s, there's really almost nothing. It would be like if it's somebody who lived in the 1600s, they would just have a memorial, like a statue or something, or just a stone with a plaque that's been put on it. So this transcription is of the text on one of these stones, and the person may have been born in the 1700s, but they died in around 1811 or later. If it's a stone that has somebody who was born and died in the 1700s, there would be some other person or some kind of dedication or something on there. And that is a method of determining the start time of any year or calendar related counting system. And you think about it, and you don't see old calendars. Have you seen like William?
All right, Rich, are you back? Are you back there, Rich?
Yes,
Can you
I'm
hear
back
me?
now. Can I hear you?
Right. Yeah.
I could have
Very
sat
interesting.
for the game, Rob. I've watched that a few times, but I'll leave a link to that. It's fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
About the history. It's I don't know the fella's name. It's UAP, and it was he's been UAP for years, well before the unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Yeah.
Before they changed UFO to UAF. So, but I'll leave a link to that. I'll get into the chat in a minute, and I'll leave a link to that that blog where I've uploaded those images, and I'll leave a link, and I'll leave a link directly to that video, because for people that are interested in it, you know, it's questioning history. Anything that questions history and does deep research. The guy really does deep research, and he's a critical thinker. You know,
well, it makes you wonder why they are hiding a certain part of history, doesn't it? Makes you wonder.
Well, history is written by the victors, mate. So, and all this shit that's been going on now, which is why I maintain and why I think it's important. The most important video I could have done was to share David's Amazon, because like I say,
can you get that
the
up?
book,
Can you get that up? Can you get that up on screen? All his books that he's actually worked on and done.
I did a video. Go and watch my video. I went through every single book he's written and
Oh, you've already
published.
done a video on it, have you?
I did a video on it. Yeah,
Oh,
I went
missed
through every
that.
single one. Apart from two, because the screen went wobbly, and I thought, right, I'll just avoid those. So there are two books that aren't actually on that video, but I think his authorship goes back to, or his publishing goes back to 2014.
How long ago did you do this video about his published books?
It was part of my the 3 videos I got. I think I've done 3 videos a day on David.
Right.
One was the rest in peace one, because somebody had said, because that's why I sent you a text, and I said, "Oh, is David all right?" And I sent him a text at the same time saying, I don't know, whatever I said, "Are you all right?" Because some scammer or spammer had made the comment, David's been found on the railway track. Now, you know, I sort of I 90% guessed right. Yeah, well, and I did actually do an internet search with his name, railway track and death and things like that, and it didn't come up with anything. And then I made a comment, "Is it true?" And then I but I'd already made the video ready to upload it, but I wanted to check with David that he was still alive.
David must have picked up on that, because he sent me a text saying, "Rob, I am very much still alive."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, but I thought the most important thing is, and I did a video way back. It was probably September, I think, or October, but it was to do with book burning. I mean, it takes quite a long time to do a video that encompasses everything that I wanted to put in it, which was about the 1933 book burning by the Nazis.
Yeah.
And they were you know, they have. In fact, actually, I can show a quick clip in a minute if you want, of what I was actually going to formulate into a video, and just to get people to appreciate that the modern book burning will be the burning of the internet, the burning of YouTube videos, the burning of websites, the burning of all the news, because most news is now, and most information and most truth is on the internet. And the internet, all they've got to do is flick that switch, and they can switch the internet off. They'll blame Russia, but you know who it is.
They'll blame Russia. They'll blame Russia, definitely.
Oh, absolutely. They'll they'll put it down as a cyber war that the internet goes out. And they will blame Russia. That's the agenda of the now.
Talking about what's happening in Russia at the minute, I was talking to one of my work colleagues today, and it was a video that somebody sent from Facebook, and it was regarding something that was published in all the newspapers and on the free papers like Metro. There was a picture of a woman. She had like it was like a hat on. It might have been a bandaged head, but it looked like a hat, and blood running down the side of her head.
Yeah.
And it came to light that it was actually that photograph or that video where they took it from was from 2018, and it was related to a gas explosion. Nothing to do with Ukraine.
Yeah. Well, I watched a video earlier on that was some of the footage just being shared from computer games, like, I don't know, I can't think of any, like these war games, these shooting games.
In fact, I'll tell you what, Rich, bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna try and get it up on my phone, and I'll try and broadcast it on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my screen onto big, get my phone, and see if I can actually put it on here. Bear with me 1 second.
Do that then. Let me leave in. Let me leave in here a minute. History.
Right, let's see if I can get this up. Bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to take you off the screen for 1 minute, Rich, and put mine up. onto the main screen. All right, let's get this up. Oh, come on. What's going on here? There we go. Right. I don't know how this is going to come out or how it will sound, but I will do my best to try and show you it. All right. It's that one there, Crisis Actors 2022. Just bear with me. Oh, come on.
So by now you would have all seen this lady's face in every newspaper, a survivor from a bombing, allegedly, okay? Well, some people have looked up this lady's face, and it seems that this picture was used in a news article from 2018. Below is a section from the article dated July 2018. If anybody from Ukraine can translate, it'd be great. You can actually find it online. If you type gas leak injures lady, you will see this same lady's pictures are being used back in July 2018. Do you recognise this picture below, which is being used? Russia has declared war on Ukraine. I'll show you where it's really from. Here you can see in the New York Times 2018 Israel bombings, the same picture. I'm noticing a theme going on here, guys. Why are they using stock photos?
So there you go. I'll just put you back up now, Dave. Rich, sorry. Just bear with me.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
You can hear me, can you?
Yeah.
Where am I then?
I just can't get you back on screen. Just bear with me.
Rob, I tried sharing links in the chat, but I'm not allowed to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the private chat on StreamYard, and I'm going to post them in there, and you're going to have to copy them because you're the only one that can post links in the chat.
Oh,
I can't do it. They haven't come up.
Why is it not coming up with you back on the screen? I can't get you back up on the screen now.
You can hear me though.
I can hear you loud and clear. Yeah. Let me just click on yours. It's just saying remove from stream, but I don't want to remove you from stream. That's weird. Let's click on solo layout, see what happens there.
There you go. We've got me up. Oh, that's nice.
I've got you up now, but I can't get both of us back up. That's the problem.
You've got there's settings on the bottom of the thing that allows you to have one person, two people sharing the screen.
Yeah, I've got on to guess. We're both in the participants on here, but it's showing that me and you are on here. Oh, maybe I need to click on. No, that's not it. I might have to invite you back in here. Oh yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, you're still there, but I just can't get both of us up together, and I don't know why. That's weird. That is really weird. All right, let's click on mine, see if that does it. Nope. That is really, really weird. Let's click on both. Oh, what's happened here? This is not good. Right, Rich. What I'll do is I'll take you off.
Hold it, Rob. Hold it. I'm slinging you some links in this chat, in the private chat. You're gonna have to copy them because I can't comment. Links to both that blog, that website with the images I uploaded, and that video. So I've just sent you it in the private chat.
Let's do that more. Click on that. Private chat. Yeah, click on that.
Can you see the links I've
I can
shared?
see the link. Yeah, yeah.
Now you're going to have to copy. If you copied that whole comment somehow, and then you paste it in the comments, in the comments, not the private chat. You post it in the comments. It should come up. But
There's 2 links there. It's only letting me do 1 link at a time.
I'll do 1 link at a time then.
Right. Okay.
Oh, actually, they come up. Oh no, they haven't. I can see them on. I can see them on.
Copy link address.
I can
click
see them on.
Just bear with me.
Here I stand. Here I stand. Look around, 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 around.
I'd have to go back into YouTube to be able to post these links. I can't do it from here. It won't let me do it from here.
Well, however you do it, Rob, but just say, I don't know. Well, do what you have to do. Let me think a minute. Oh, right. If you bear with me for just a little while, if I can find that. Yeah. Oh, don't worry about it, Rob. Do it later on.
Yeah. I can't do it. I can't do it. What concerns me more than anything is how I can't get both of us up on screen together. So I've got solo layout for me. I can get myself up, right?
Well, keep yourself up.
But when I go on my guests, you're there. And it just gives me the option to remove from stream. That's weird.
There should be
Right.
at the bottom of StreamYard, Rob. There should be. Hello, Skyer. See.
Hi, Skyer. Thank you for joining.
Tunes, how you doing, my friend? At the bottom, there should be options of what you can do with the with the screen.
Right, let's click on layout, see what that does. Oh, hang on, that might be it. More layout. There we go.
Okay,
yeah,
that's it.
That's
You
it.
see?
Right, well done, mate. Sorry, this is fairly all new to me, so
Don't say sorry. It's not new, Rob. You're old flipping out now. Gosh, come on and have a chat, Skyer.
Yeah, join us, Sky Earth. We can bring you in.
Come in. But anyway, so what you reckon on that video, Rob? Could you hear it for a start?
I did. I listened to it. Yeah, I've watched a few videos myself, but from other different subscribers, not the UAP that you said, but
yeah,
that's slightly similar. I've seen something very similar.
Yeah, but he sort of thinks. He thinks. He's very, very creative as well, and he's very diverse in what he actually addresses. Mud Flood, all of you. You'll absolutely adore his channel, Rob.
Right.
He's musical. He's pretty much got a really concise channel there. So hopefully, well, primarily what I'm hoping is that it sort of enlightens you and other people on how history can be manipulated at the stroke of a pen. But how important it is, going back to David's books, they'll last longer than the internet.
Oh yeah. Well, you've got a book. It's a hard copy, isn't it?
Think of the number of carpets in houses that have been taken up, or floorboards that have been taken up, and there's like old newspapers and things. That's you know, underneath the carpets. That is what a book will be. And he's spot on, David, in what he said when he says, you know, it's for the future generations.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be many humans left on our side in future generations.
Yeah.
Because there are, I said it, I did a video in my local park. I did it in 2020, actually, and I didn't upload it. And I was walking around, and it was just about, I knew back then that they were after the children. This is well before they'd even had the old medical cure released. And I said back then, it's the children, they're after the children, it's their children. And there were a few children playing in this park, and I, right in the distance, and I just felt compelled to get it out of my head. And I've got so many videos that it's just another one of those that sort of fell by the wayside. But absolutely, they're playing a generation game, my love. All right, good game. They're playing a generation game.
Been through a quick nature calls, you know.
Plumbing. It's not the plumbing. Yeah, it's not the plumbing we got to worry about. It's the electricity. Because honestly, you watch. They switch it off. They'll switch it off.
About 2 years ago, I started getting a few bits and pieces like tinned foods and dried foods together. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also bought myself from Argos a couple of them little cookers, like camping stoves.
Yeah.
And some little gas canisters. So
yeah.
You know, just in case if the electric goes, I've still got something to eat my food, you know.
Ah, Rob, how long is that going to last you?
It's not going to last very long, but you know, if I, you know, I can use that as a first
sort of emergency. Yeah.
And then I'll have to make a makeshift stove if that all gets used up, you know.
Oh, it will get used up. I got quite a few of those. I'm big into camping. Okay, or I was. So I'm well stocked with camping.
Them little blue cans about that big.
That's it, little colour gas cans. Yeah, Bluets.
Yeah, I've got about 20 of them.
Yeah, so that'll last you. And particularly if you've got to cook 2 meals, if you've got to cook 2 individual meals for just to have 1 meal between you and your beloved, so you're going to be using twice as much gas as making one of the same pot. So either your beloved has got to learn how to like garlic, or you've got to learn how to go without it. So she's gonna have to go to the garlic. Yeah, that's the way forward. Garlic. Yeah, and it's the health benefits of all these things are, you know.
That's the dance topic.
But this is what we got to be prepared for: is power outages, is surviving, is rationing, is what they call it when you starve yourself for a little bit. Fasting. I mean, fasting 1 day a week is meant to be so beneficial. It gives a gut time to heal a little bit. So even fasting 1 day a week, going without 1 day a week
as well.
Eh? You won't be on a bite beer, Rob. What are you going to do? You're going to be in the shit, mate.
Well, I'm going to have to start brewing my own, aren't I?
Well, start now. Well,
yeah, that's a good. Right. Yeah, I'm going to say, right, the next gift I want from my beloved is a wine.
Rob, don't wait for a gift. Honestly, I'm telling you, don't wait until the horse is bolted before you shut the door.
I know. Listen, you know, I'm not dependent on alcohol. If I can't get it, I can't get it. I'm not bothered as long as I've got water.
Yeah, but it's nice to have it. And if it would be a relief from the boredom just eating rice and peas, because that's all, you know. Honestly,
I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here.
Yeah, and bugs. You could be eating Bill Gates bug burgers. You know.
Yeah.
The time to start preparing was yesterday.
Yeah, I agree.
and not the day after tomorrow.
I know.
You
I
know, I'm quite. I want you to just prepare, Rob. Honestly, but prepare fasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, fasting is
Yeah,
a really good thing to do. And then you can survive without food for 40 days, for 40 nights, if needs be.
Yeah.
So you're quite a chunky chap. You got you can
How
sort of.
very dare you? How very dare you?
Hold it. I think I've got something to work on now as an intro, bit of intro music for you.
All right, okay.
Look for
I'm
the.
never going to let you host the live stream. I'm only kidding.
No. But honestly, it's so crucial that people learn now how to dry food, how to store it. Like the old Wild West pioneers, they travelled across America. They didn't have freezers or, they dried they had beef jerky, which was basically dried meat.
Yeah.
Pulses.
Stuff that keeps for a long, long time.
So
stuff like pasta and rice.
Rice, white rice, brown rice has got oil in it and it doesn't store forever. It goes rancid.
Lentils. Oh, I only get white rice. I only ever get white rice.
Yeah, white rice.
Lentils, beans, all that type of thing.
Yeah. Grow your own lentils. And here's another thing about food. If you green lentils.
Rich.
What?
How can I grow my own lentils? You're going to have to grow them on your allotment.
I'll be growing them this year. I'm growing all sorts this year.
I've got a balcony.
Well, you can grow on a balcony, Rob. Rob, listen up. If you were starving, your balcony, what would you use it for? You go out there and plot. Even if you're growing like a few lettuce and it's not going to sustain you forever, but
I've grown peppers and tomatoes on my balcony.
Yeah, spuds. You can grow spuds in a bucket.
I haven't grown spuds.
Spuds.
It's only a small balcony, mate. It's only a small balcony.
There's spuds in a bucket.
She went mental with me for all my tomato plants that I had growing. First year I did it, I had about 10 plants growing, 10 tomato plants.
Wow.
And last year I went down to about 5.
Yeah, even five's too many. You could replace 5 with 2 buckets. 3 tomatoes should do 3 tomato bushes, mate. If you pick the right variety, like Roma or something like that, you should be able to grow shed loads from one plant. Okay.
It's just the weather that lets me down, Rich. Do you know, like in the first year, all my plants were thriving. The flowers were coming out. And I thought, oh, it's going to be a monster crop. And then we had a tail back end of a hurricane that it must have come from America or somewhere like that. And I came in from work one day and all my tomato plants were blown over. All the flower buds had come off. I lost loads, mate. Lost loads.
Lesson learned, Rob. Lesson learned. But honestly, I'm telling you, you can look at potato towers. You can grow, you can probably grow 4, 5 or 6 levels of potatoes in the same footprint of one bucket just by towering them. Or the best thing to do is move out and get yourself a garden, Rob. Now you know.
I can't move out. How can I move out? I'll just come to your allotment. I'm coming to your allotment and I'll eat all your veg.
Rob,
I've come to the conclusion, Rich. Excuse me, I've come to the conclusion. I don't need to grow anything anymore. I'm just coming to eat all yours.
Well, I ain't really got anything. You can rhubarb. You don't like rhubarb, Rob?
Well, if I was hungry, I'd eat it, wouldn't I?
Well, there you go. But don't eat the leaves. This is the thing. This is the thing. For example, lentils. Buy green lentils. They got more nutrition in green than in the orange ones. Okay.
Young ones. Are the lentils cooked yet, Rick?
Okay. I'm serious. I'm being serious, Rob. I'm being serious, mate.
Comment from Sky Earth. He said about Neil out the young ones knew the score about the lentils.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
I see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Lentils are good.
Hello, Shoes. I'm sorry, we're gonna have to stand on you again. Oh, I love the young ones. In fact, the young ones were filmed in Bristol. I'm from Bristol, and the young ones were
Oh,
filmed in
right.
Bristol. And the old Rangoon, which was the pub they went to, I can't remember what it was called now. The Cock of the North, it's called, up in Henleys. That's where they used to do their pub scenes. And their house that they used was in Bishopston. And I've been outside, been stood outside the house where they actually lived in the young ones. So, yeah, and absolutely adore the young ones. But
Good series. You're
this
going
is
to have
what
to excuse me 1 minute, Rich. Carry on,
not
mate.
not
Nature
again.
calls.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, look, that's what when you're on old speckled hen, my friend.
Oh, is it? I used
That's
to
what
love.
happens. I'm not on the wine tonight. I'm on the old speckled hen.
Don't mix grape and grain. That's what I always learned.
Oh no, I've only got the beer tonight. I'm not on the
Yeah.
wine tonight. Just the beer. I'll be back in one mo.
Go and take the beer for a walk. Yeah. Skyer, come on and say hello. Come on and say hello. But anyway, there's a thing about because Rob ain't interested. Lentils. Now, if you've got a lentil, it's got a certain nutritional value. If you take that lentil and you put it in water and put it on I don't know, a tissue or something, and let it sprout, there's more nutrition in that sprouted lentil than there is in that raw lentil. Okay, I don't know whether anyone's listening to me. So you can increase the yield of nutrition, or the nutritional yield of something, and it works with all pulses. If you sprout them, you immediately increase the nutritional value. And if you sprout them so you've got shoots, you can also eat the shoots. And I've just done it. I've just chopped a few broad bean tops that were growing, and ate those, and they're really quite nice. So understanding what food that God gave us, yeah. But just look into sprouting. Everything, sprouting seeds, sprouting beans, sprouting lentils. You can increase the value of it, I don't know how much, double, which means your food will last twice as long for the same amount of nutritional intake. And dried pulses and dried lentils, dried fruits, particularly dried lentils, chickpeas, and all that jazz. That's the things you need to be long-term storing. As long as you keep them dry. You missed all that, Rob.
Sorry, mate.
No, I'm not repeating it. You'll have to rewatch
no,
it.
it's all right. I can watch it back later. Yeah, nice bit. Old speckled hen. You can't beat it. Proper ale. You've been talking about me behind my back, Richard.
I did actually mention you, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be looking back at this very closely to see what you've said while I've been gone.
Skyer, if you don't need, I'm not doing the camera because I've got a radio face. You got two options. You can have your video cam, or whatever they call it, your PC cam, or whatever it's called, or you can just do what I've done and shove up a picture. So you have your you use your, whatever they call it, emoji or something. So, but to have a chat, Sky, come on.
We're trying to get Sky in on the chat, yeah?
Well, I'm fed up with talking, Rob. Well, I'm not actually. I'm not fed up, but the thing that is missing in modern life is interaction between people. And I'm not talking about commenting on videos and Facebook chats. I'm talking about interaction between people.
Face-to-face interaction.
Face-to-face interaction.
Human face-to-face interaction. I totally agree. And when I get on the bus in the morning, Richard, when I get on the bus on the morning to work, yeah, I get on the bus and I look down, and all, I would say 90% of the passengers on that bus have got their heads buried in their phone.
Yeah.
Scrolling through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that is their social life, mate.
Yeah.
That's their social life. Yeah, corrupt. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Big Brother. Yeah. Yeah, 1984. And here's the thing I've heard as well. They're doing away with the old flip phone. When the 5G rolls in, they're doing away with, because everything's going digital.
Yeah.
So they're doing away with the old flip phones. So you'll have to have one of these modern stupid phones, aka smartphones. And you can remember what they did with they did it with the televisions. They moved everything from digital to from analog to digital on the television.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like microchipping dogs in 2016. It's all drip feed, normalize. But we didn't know what they were doing with the dogs. That was a test. I'm 100% sure of it. And now they're looking at doing it with humans, and that is a real thing. Klaus Nasal Schwab, Terry C, CB, CBC. What's CB?
Yeah, I don't know what CB is.
Come on and explain it, Terry. Please come and have a chat. We can have a four-way chat here. Yeah. I'm quite happy to just mute my mic and let other people have a chat. Because
what he's saying here, people, is that Richard's fed up talking to me.
No, I ain't fed up, Rob. I just feel I'm hogging. I'm just hogging.
My friend, you know me. I've got a sense of humour.
Oh,
like the loaf of bread I saw in the supermarket with your name on. You know what I mean?
Thick cunt. Oh, thick. Oh.
Oh, that was good. Oh, that was classic.
Yeah.
Oh dear. You come and watch my channel, then you will see me.
I'm not interested in seeing you. Face to face, yeah, but it's not necessary on this. This is a recorded thing. My face is on my channel in the old allotment videos. But it comes to a point where I've had quite a few facial operations, and I got a radio face. But this is a thing, and I've been touting this around a lot recently, is about what Thatcher did to communities. Everything's been about shutting down communication between human beings. Okay, and having a conversation on Facebook through comments, that's not face to face. You can remember back before. You'll remember this even more than me, Rob, seeing as you're older than me by quite a lot.
Yeah, okay, rub it in.
You'll remember if you went back to the 80s, the early 80s. How many fence? You know these 6 foot high wooden fence panels.
Yeah.
You know they didn't exist.
No.
What existed back then was 3 foot high chain link fencing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you look at Victorian houses, they were 4 foot high walls, so Mr. and Mrs. Miggins could lean on it with her elbow and have a chat with Mrs. Smith next door. Everything was about being able to interact with your next door neighbour. And then all of a sudden, Thatcher sold. I'm from a council estate, so I witnessed what Thatcher actually did to communities and communicizing. She literally gave people a prison. Which is what they did, because when she sold council houses, all of a sudden people own their own castle. They want to protect their own privacy, and all of a sudden, at some point in time, these 6 foot high fences started appearing, cutting people off from their next door neighbour. So everything's about this like isolation. Is all about not being able to communicate with your neighbour.
Well, that's what they want to do. That's exactly. Look at what happened with the. I've got to be careful what I say here. Over the last 2 years, C-19. Yeah.
We don't need to say that.
What was their goal? To stop people communicating.
100%. 100%.
Separate people. Stop them communicating.
100%. 6 foot distance, cover your mouth. Don't trust the person next to you. Don't shake hands. Don't hug. Don't kiss. Don't say hello. You can't even say hello to people.
Keep your distance.
You know, everything was about they shut down the pubs. They shut down everything. Unless, well, I won't say anything that will contravene the orders, but you know, everything. They just completely tried to shut it down.
Yeah. And to a certain extent, they succeeded.
Oh, well, absolutely, 100%. They shut the fucking world down.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, isn't it interesting now with all what's going off in Ukraine? You put the news on, you don't hear nothing about any variants. You know, variants of the.
Yeah.
You know,
we know. Yeah.
Not even mentioned. Isn't it funny though? But before Russia and Ukraine, it was variant after variant after variant.
Yeah.
And now it's forgotten. Very, very strange.
And you know why, don't you? It's because everybody's bought into it. People have bought into it.
Yeah.
That's why it is. They've, you know, they sowed that massive, that seed is germinated that they sowed of fear pulling everybody into taking the resolve, we'll call it, and the elixir, and
the juice, the wonder juice.
No, you can't say juice.
You can say juice.
This is what they've done, Rob. They've got the children.
Give me juice. Give me jabby juice.
Children. No, it ain't. Don't even call it that. They've got the children. That was their aim.
Well, of course it was, yeah.
They've now got the children, and they've got them at birth. As soon as they come out of the womb, they will be treated.
Yes.
That's the end of that saga. They've completely ruined the economy. Not the economy. The economy is there to be ruined. The economy is a non-entity. They completely shut down small businesses.
And paper notes, coins are out the windows very shortly. It's all going to be digital. And you know, like how it is in China, that's what they want to achieve, how it is in China.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But like, it's like, you know, the old thing has now achieved what they set out to do, which is get the children.
Yes. I don't know about you, but me, right? I can quite easily use my debit card, right, when I go shopping or when I buy something. But I make a point, personally, of going to the cash machine, withdrawing the money, and I pay in cash. I do that purposely.
Yeah. I zoom my account out all the time. The only thing I use my building society account for, which is nationwide, I would recommend anybody to ditch the bank and go to a building society. I would recommend nationwide. I've been with them, 45 years.
Yeah.
My nan set me up an account, saved me £1 a week. When I was
you'll be worth a fortune, Rex.
Eh?
You'll be worth a fortune.
Oh no,
you're about 70 now, aren't you? So how many years is that? £1 a week, did you say?
Yeah.
Over 70 years?
Yeah. No. And then she gave me it when I was when I left school. Actually, she gave me control of it, but she used to keep hold of it, pay money in.
Yeah.
And then it was sort of like a little savings pot. Well, it was a savings pot for me. So I've been nationwide for all that time, 45 years.
Yeah.
And I've gone back to them. And but this is what I use. The only thing I use my debit card for is paying my phone bill.
Yeah.
I keep zero in. I might keep a penny in it.
Yeah.
To keep it open.
I'm the same. There's certain things you have to do with a debit. You know, I mean, I don't do direct debits. I don't do any direct debits.
No,
none.
Everything's when my phone and internet bill is due, I'll put the money in.
Yeah, that's exactly how I do it.
and
Yeah.
that's it. I can work with cash. I'm fortunate enough that I've got a trade, and
Yeah.
I've got something that I can do with my hands that people do still want. They're quite happy to pay with cash. And
What are you
when
going to put, Rich?
when the shit does hit the fan, I
Yeah.
will say, right, okay, that's so I don't know if I do a house number or something, or a house name. I'll just say, listen, right, that's £100. Let's go to Tesco's and I'll get me £100 worth of food. I can do that. And those people that have got their digital flipping system all installed in their tender bodies.
Cheers, Sky. Thank you.
Please, next time, come on, just have a chat. Empty your wisdom. Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly.
Rich, question for you.
All right, Paul.
As a stonemason, yeah, not a Freemason, as a stonemason.
Yeah.
What are you going to put on my gravestone?
I'm going to die before you, Rob.
All right, then. Well, if I order in advance before you go, what are you going to put on my gravestone? I want to know now. Live on air. I want to know what you would put on my gravestone.
Okay, here lies Rob, dearly beloved brother. Stood for truth. Drank a lot. Drank a lot of speckled hen and wine.
Well, yeah, it'll all be true. It'll all be true. Rest in peace. Will you do what the Egyptians used to do, though? Will you bury me in my coffin? Will you put all these bottles of old speckled hen and wine, Merlot?
Empty.
Will you do that?
Yeah, empty.
So I can take it with
that. No, because I don't believe that shit. You can't take it with you. You know that. It's biblical.
I'm only joking, mate. I know you can't. I'm only kidding.
You know,
I know you can't take it with you.
Yeah, it's like wetting the baby's head, isn't it? You don't give the baby a drink. You have a drink yourself, so it'd be like wetting. Well, I'll tell you what we can do is if we have a little wake around your grave, we can drink the beer and pass it through.
You piss on my grave, in other words.
Yeah. I think that's about the best. That's about the best way to give you it.
You get me back for the loaf of bread joke, aren't you? Love it. I love it. Well done,
there is a system of I won't call it burial because it's not really burial, but there is a system where you're just laid on the ground. You're covered up with something like cardboard or like a woolen blanket, and wool degrades, as you know, because it's organic.
Yeah.
And then you're just left to be absorbed into the ground as a human being.
Right.
So
let me ask you, Rich. What when your time comes, would you rather be cremated or buried? Or
I don't want to be cremated because cremated takes away my original form. My original form is of the clay. Now, if you burn me, you change what I am. You change my original clays into carbon and gases and smoke. That is change.
When it comes to the resurrection, God doesn't forget you. He knows.
It's not about me. It's not about me being resurrected. It's about me replenishing the earth with what I've taken out of it.
Well, you should have took out in the first place, should you? It's your own fault.
Everything I've taken out of it to make me has come from the earth. Everything I've eaten. Everything, people that eat beef, people that eat animals eat from the ground. They eat grass, they eat wheat.
Yeah. I love it. Roast beef and all. Bit of horseradish sauce on my roast beef, mate. Oh, horseradish sauce. Yeah.
So I'm against cremation because it totally changes it changes the earth. Right.
Okay. So you'd rather, to put it bluntly, you'd rather just go back to let the worms and feed on you and go back to I understand that. Yeah.
That's my body.
Yeah,
However, my soul, Rob, that thing that can't degrade because it exists in the ether and not as a material. My soul is what hopefully touchstone goes to heaven, goes to be with Jesus Christ in the land of the positives. That is how I see existence, the human existence and the being existence on this shitty earth. As it's
yeah, that sums it up, mate. Shitty earth. Shitty
Yeah.
earth.
You know, it's not the earth that's shitty, it's the human being.
Exactly.
And I'm not just talking about those few that are at the helm. I'm talking about every human being, including myself. We're all destructive and, you know, pollutants and, you know, little outs and all. Even just a little out is a disgrace.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I'm always, me personally, you know, like say, if I'm eating a sweet and I've got a wrapper, I make a point of either putting it in my pocket or I'll find a bin and put it in the bin. I never ever throw anything on the floor.
Yeah.
Even if I'm smoking and I've got a cig butt, I'll hold on to the cig butt till I can find somewhere to put it in. You know what I mean? That's just me.
Some spread is in the house. Come on in, spread. Howdy, my friend.
Yeah. Others, some spread lies, others know the truth. Who is who? Yeah, you've got to be so careful these days. There are so many people out there who are claiming to speak the truth, who are trying to take you down the wrong path. On my channel and on Richard's channel and on David Yates's channel, we give you the facts. We tell you what we believe, and then you can do your own research and check it out for yourself. And that's the best way to do it, I think.
Absolutely, yeah.
Don't believe anything anybody says. Don't believe anything I say, anything Richard says, or anything David says. Do your research and you'll see what the truth is.
Yeah. So when Rob says I'm a loaf of bread, don't believe him. Listen, we all have a natural intuition. We're born with it. Okay. Animals have got a natural intuition, and that's all we are. We're just animals. However, what the system has indoctrinated us with is it's degrading our, or depleting or degrading our natural intuition with all these nasty chemicals that attack the brain.
Rich, I'm sorry to put in, mate, but it's just come up on my screen that my battery is low. I'm going to have to move over to another chair to charge it up to carry on this stream. So bear with me 1 second while I do it. Just hold on 1 second.
One. Are you back?
No, not yet. Hang on.
Okay.
I'm just getting my charger.
Try 10 seconds then. Yeah. Sun. Whoosh. Oh, I spread. You're upside down, Rob.
Come on. I know I'm upside down. I'm just trying to sort it out.
Are you?
Come on, what's going on here? Right. Come on, other way. That's it. There we go. Yeah. Right, just 1 second. I've got my charger in now. I've got it plugged into the mains now. Bear with me 1 second.
One.
Don't be funny, Richard. Don't be funny.
This is like biblical. This is like Rob's 1 second is the equivalent of 1,000 seconds, and 1,000 seconds is the equivalent of 1 second.
Right. Okay. This is going to be a bit old, so I've got to hold the camera. I've got to hold this laptop now. Tablet. Plus the lead on the charger. I'll make sure it's switched on. I think it is. Yeah. It's very short. So here we go. Right. I'm back on.
Right.
I won't be cut off. It just came up with a warning: battery 10%. So,
oh wow. That's low.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we have been talking for an hour and 49 minutes.
You are a 1 in 10. Even though I don't exist, nobody knows it, but I'm always there, a statistical reminder of a world that doesn't care.
Can you whistle, Rich?
I can't actually. No, I can't actually. I've had a lot of my teeth taken out, so I can't even speak properly. But,
I'm only kidding.
But going back to David, I don't because and his books.
Yeah.
He's a clever man, is David.
Yeah. Very intelligent.
And
He knocks himself down, doesn't he? He puts himself down saying, you know, he's got no education and all that. But I tell you what, he is very intelligent.
Well, what's education? What is education?
Yeah, exactly.
He's written. I don't know how many books it was. I didn't count, but he's written all those books. That is education in print. That's knowledge in print, and knowledge is being educated. You've got that knowledge. I just think it's so important that we push David's books, because at the end of the day, I know what's going to happen. It's biblical. Either the military and the police force realise that they're being used and say, "Listen, enough's enough. You know, we'll go and stand behind you. We'll stand behind Jesus." If everybody stood behind Jesus and stood alongside him, that is the army. But everybody ain't going to do it.
Yeah.
He's the only person that can unite the world in peace. If everybody,
that last comment, what did you say? He's the only person that can what?
He's the only person that can actually lead. Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody won't say, listen, all right? Doesn't matter what faith you are. At the end of the day, he's gone into war without any tools apart from the word of God, and it's as simple as that. That's the only weapon he had, is the word of God. It is common sense. If we retain our intuition, everything is right about what he said and what he stood for and what he did.
Yeah.
But we're flipping doomed as a species, a human race anyway.
Do not put your trust in earthling man, to whom no salvation belongs. Very good scripture, that.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
You know, and
the governments will make promises, and when the elections come up, they'll say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But they're all on the same agenda. They're all out for themselves and what their goal is.
And this is what I think. I think what we're dealing with these world leaders, these world leaders, is they don't believe in eternity. They don't believe there's an eternity. They can't do, because I can't imagine anybody that believes in an eternity that includes hell would be doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
They couldn't. They can't do.
Why I don't believe in hell as a literal hell where people think of fiery torment. Yeah.
No, I don't think of that. I don't think of hell.
Think back to Adam and Eve, right? When he told them if they sinned, if they ate from that tree, they would die. Now, when they died, their punishment after death wasn't to go into some fiery hell or torment. Now, they returned to the dust, and that was the end of their life. That was the end of their existence. That was it. There is no fiery torment, fiery hell. Hell, or Sheol, is the common grave of all mankind. That is the Hebrew, or could be the Greek definition, translation of Sheol, the common grave of all mankind. But people think of hell as being in some place where the devil, as fire and brimstone, and you know, they're in torment, screaming and constant. You know, that's not the case. Now, I'm not saying there's not going to be a judgment of the wicked ones. There will be a judgment. We know that, don't we? There's a judgment coming.
All I know, Rob, is what is on this earth. Okay, that's all I know. I can speculate about the afterlife, etc. And I choose
There
to
is
believe
no
there is
afterlife.
heaven.
There is
Oh,
no, when you die, you die. There is no afterlife. You don't go to some other existence. There is, you return to the dust. That was the original punishment that was given to Adam. You will die. He didn't say
so
you'd go into another existence.
so what
And it's
about
the
those
same
that have aligned them? What about those that have aligned themselves with the Word of God?
right?
What
Well, they're
about
going to be resurrected
what about
during
all
the
the
thousand
energy?
year reign.
What about it? Listen up. What about the energy you've generated by speaking and thinking? What happens to that? Because it will exist forever as an energy in one form or another. Every thought, every emotion, every sense that we experience generates an electrical impulse in our bodies, and an electrical impulse will travel out from our bodies into the ether. Everything we say will exist forever.
Right.
What happens to that?
Well, yeah, but if that's the case, then everybody's conversation worldwide would be constantly, it doesn't work. I don't think it works like that. The way
It
I
must.
see
It
it,
will
how
exist.
you live
Yeah,
your
it will.
life.
It will exist forever. It will exist forever. You cannot undo what has been done. It can't be done.
But
It will
you're on
exist.
about what you've spoken about, not what you've done. You're on
Everything.
about
Everything. Energy can either be created or destroyed. Well, God created the energy in the beginning. God created in the beginning. God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was like form and void. There was nothing. And then God said, "Let there be light." Bang! That was the energy. The light. Let there be light, and everything happened.
right.
Over the 6 days, He made everything.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the energy. Everything was created. The
What
energy.
you've got to remember, though, it's God's original creation. We weren't meant to die. When He created Adam and Eve, we were not intended to die.
And then Jesus Christ came to give us salvation and everlasting life. And if
Yes.
we if we align ourselves with our whole being about trying to be perfect in the eyes of the Creator, okay?
Yeah.
So our energy is fully positive. This is why Jesus came to earth, is to teach us how to be pleasing to God. So that we
Yeah,
can
but it was more than that as well.
listen. So
That as well. He also
no,
came to pay
hold
back
it, hold it. Adam and Eve sinned against the word of God. Jesus Christ came to give us salvation from that sin.
Correct.
So we can just totally eradicate from our existence, put it in the past, forget about it, and move on from Adam, move on with Jesus Christ. Then we have that perfect energy that God will say, thank you. Or whatever he's going to say. But that is the whole premise of Jesus Christ coming to earth, was to teach us how to undo the sin that was initially instigated by flipping Adam and Eve.
Yeah, I agree totally, 100%.
So life can be eternal, Rob. It's all about the energy that we generate by everything we do. Even thinking generates an electrical impulse. And
It's
thinking,
eternal in the sense that when we die, we're in like a sleep-like state. But it's not the end of it. You see, the Egyptians used to believe that when you die, you move on to some afterlife, right?
and
But the Bible makes it very clear that when we die, we are conscious of nothing. The Bible quite clearly says the dead are conscious of nothing at all. But as for the living, they are conscious that they will die. The Bible quite clearly says that. So, going back to what you said about Jesus, that's why He came to pay back what Adam and Eve had lost, so that we then have the chance to attain to repentance and gain everlasting life.
born again.
By our actions and our lifestyle, that determines whether or not we make it into that new system.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we do agree.
Well, I don't. Do we agree on eternity? There being an eternal existence for our soul. Not our body. Our body will just go back to the earth. That's what it came from the
That's
earth.
right. That's right. God
soul.
remembers the soul. So God remembers the soul. So He knows your traits. He knows your personality. He knows your way of thinking. He knows everything. He knows everything about every one of us. So it's not difficult for Him to bring you back as that same person.
It's the same body with a different. This is what being born again is
No,
all
no,
about.
that's the same body.
No, Rob, listen a minute,
Same body.
please. This is what being born again is. It's being born again. When I was born again, I cried for 2 weeks, and I said this. I think I said this in your last live stream. I cried for 2 weeks like a baby because I did. Because what it did for me emotionally, and consciously, it was just like I was actually born again. I was given a chance to live a new life with
Right.
a role model that in my eyes
But
and
you
in the
were
eyes of
born
God,
again in the spirit, not in
hey,
the flesh. You were born again in the spirit and not in your flesh.
oh,
That's
I
how
bless
you were
you.
born again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not about
What I'm
being. It's not
saying
about
is,
being born in. No, Rob. Being born again is about changing your consciousness, not your body.
yeah,
It's about changing the way we think, and about
yeah, I'm
basically
not
about the
saying.
way
I
we
agree with
think.
you. I'm not saying that. I agree with you. What you're saying there. It's that. It's the way you think. It's not about your body. I understand that. But what I'm saying is, I'm looking a bit further down the field. When God puts things to right, He won't. He won't have you come back. Say, for example, you died next year, right?
Oh, thanks.
No, I don't mean that nasty. Just say, for example, you died, right? He
Yeah,
knows that when you died with a good heart. You died with a good conscience, and you died with Christ, and therefore you will come back in the near
replenish.
future
Yeah.
as in the resurrection, as a resurrection. But He won't bring you back as you were.
Oh, absolutely. I don't want to come back as I am.
That's what I'm saying.
If you can't come back as a human form if you've got an eternity to live, Rob.
No, what I'm saying is
Unless,
there's only a certain number going to heaven. The main purpose was for God to fill the earth, subdue it, and live on the earth. And that's
yeah.
what His original purpose will continue to be. There are a certain amount of people that will be going to heaven, right? Now, whether you are part of that heavenly class or the earthly class, I don't know. You
Well,
probably don't even know.
I
But
haven't got
the
a clue
majority
whether I'm going to make it,
of
but
people
I'm
will
good
be there.
enough anyway to just I'm not taking it for granted just because of what I'm trying to do with my life now. I'm not trying to get to heaven. I'm trying to help other
Let me
people
ask you a question, right?
listen.
How
I'm
you
not.
feel now? Would you rather
I'm,
go to heaven, or would you rather live forever on earth, on a paradise earth? I mean,
I'm not going to answer that question
why?
because it's irrelevant.
No, I'm just asking you personally whether you would prefer to be in a spirit form in heaven, or whether you would prefer to be in a fleshly form in a good body on earth. What would you prefer?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay, I'm puzzled now.
Well,
I'm really puzzled.
I haven't been given me the options. God hasn't given me these options. I'll wait until I meet God till I,
No, I'm
because
not giving the options. I just wondered what you personally would prefer. That's all. But if you don't want to answer that, I understand.
well, if I went to heaven to tick which box I wanted to tick, I don't know what heaven's like. It might be terrible. I might think,
No,
oh gosh,
I don't think it would be terrible for
I'd
me.
like to spend eternity on Earth because it would take an eternity on Earth to study Earth and
Yeah,
everything that's been
you'd never
created.
get bored of it.
Well, there's so much to look at, and you look at things through a
Exactly.
microscope. So
Exactly.
the afterlife replenish. If we are able to replenish the Earth, with having that heavenly spirituality, but we were allowed to explore this Earth. That's what I would
Yeah.
like. I would like to have a heavenly spirit as me, but I would love to study everything that God created, and He created a work of art. Anybody that creates a work of art, and they stick it in a gallery for everybody to see, wants everybody to see it, and every aspect of it, every brushstroke, every shade of color, every this, every that, every aspect of a work of art, a painting, a sculpture, anything that is put on public display, which is what our creation is, on public display for our scrutiny to a degree. The artist would want people to just gaze and be mesmerised by it, and it is. This earth, God's creation, is mesmerising. You could spend a whole day looking at a flipping, I don't know, a dandelion flower. You could spend a whole day looking at it, and you look at it from like a field of them from 100 feet away, and then you move 50 feet closer, and you know everything becomes. You might end up with a field of yellow, and then you move 50 feet closer, and you end up with being able to pick out individual dandelions, and then you end up a foot away, and you can look at the flower, and then you go into the flower. You look at the inside of each individual little petal of that flower, and you have a look at how that is just how it's made up. You can get so close to absolutely everything that's been created. And I've just picked one flower that's also by Monsanto has been classified as a weed, and dandelions are one of the most beneficial plants God has given us.
Well, that's why you see people say, "Oh, I wouldn't want to live forever," but they're basing their feelings on how the earth is now. When God puts things to right, and like you just said about all the wonders of creation, we will never get bored. We will never get tired.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
There's time. It's why it's called immortal. It will go on forever because there is just so much to see. And once you've looked at everything on Earth, which is going to be impossible, then you start. You could. How long is an eternity? And how long would it take you to? I don't know. Just how long would it take to study just one thing? You could people take years and years and years studying one thing, one flower.
Think of a musical instrument. People spend their whole life, they dedicate 40, 50 years of their life to perfecting how to play an instrument. Yeah? That's one thing. Think about all the other. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Bill Gates is in the house. Block him.
He'll be a troll. I've just took SCL track off because he made a comment. He made a comment about what?
Block Bill Gates as well.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Well, actually, no, hold it. Wait a minute, Rob. Wait. Put him on a timeout. Have you got a timeout button there?
I haven't got a timeout button, no. I don't like this comment that Bill Gates has made. There is no God, so I'm going to block him anyway.
No, Bill Gates.
Huh?
Get rid of him.
Yeah, I'm gonna block him because there is a God, and that's up to him. So he's blocked as well. Anybody with negative comments, right? Everyone's entitled to opinion. It's just the way he worded it.
100%.
He said there is no God, grow up children. So that was what made me block him. If he'd come across and said, "Well, why do you believe there's a God?" I'd have brought him in. But he didn't. He just said there is no God, grow up. So blocked.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's entitled to a belief or a religion, or let's say, and I'm not a great believer in detracting from that. But when somebody comes up with a nasty comment like that, "Grow up, children, there is no God," there's no need for that. Yeah. You're entitled to your belief. I'm entitled to my belief. We both believe in God. Yeah. He's saying he doesn't and telling us to grow up. That's a nasty comment. So he's blocked.
Well, this is the thing, Rob. If somebody's willing to argue the toss about something, that's called mature debate.
Exactly.
And that is what that's the beauty of having something like this, which I'm so grateful for, is that we can debate, discuss.
Yeah. So I'm always open to question and debate. I'm always open to that. But when somebody comes up with a nasty comment like "grow up, children, there is no God," straight away I'll just block it.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. If he's
Yeah.
like I said, if he's come up with why do you believe in God or how do you know there is a God, that's a different kettle of fish. But he was telling us that he was right and we were wrong. End of. And
Yeah.
grow up. So blocked.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, I'm looking forward to dying. I know it's done. I don't want to go before the time, but I'm looking forward to it just to see what happens. And I've been like it for I don't know, most of my life really. Looking forward to death.
Well,
But
I'll tell you what will happen, right?
I'm
You'll
trying my
return
best.
to
I'm trying my best
Oh.
to preserve it, but I'm just curious, really. I'm just
Well, I'll tell you
curious.
exactly what will happen when you
Well,
die.
you don't know exactly what will happen, Rob.
I do
Nobody
know.
knows exactly what will happen.
I do because I'm basing it on what the Bible says. Right, when you die, you will return to the dust. You will be conscious of nothing. But in the very near future, when Jesus returns and the 1,000-year reign starts, you will be resurrected.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
No, that shocked you, hasn't it?
No, that shocked me. It's just
All right, okay.
what keeps me righteous isn't eternity. What keeps me righteous is what makes me comfortable with myself on this earth, free of any
Why I'm
sort of.
saying about what I said about what happens to you when you die is because, and why I think you won't go to heaven is because you don't have that heaven. You would know that you were going to go to heaven. You would know that, right? But you're not saying that. You're saying you don't know. So to me, that tells me that you are
No,
part of the earthly
I haven't
realm.
said I don't know. I haven't. I said I'm not going to answer. When you asked the question, Rob, I said I'm not going to answer that.
Right. Okay.
Which I'm
Okay.
not. I'm not prepared to answer it because I don't want to speculate.
Yeah. Okay.
It's as
Fair
simple
enough.
as that. It's as simple as that. And what, like I say, what keeps me righteous is not my eternity. It's my life on this earth. It keeps me. There's another twat on the jammer.
Yeah, it's going to get deleted as well. Yeah, we can do. You know what I mean? It's just totally unnecessary.
Yeah, just get
Probably
rid of it.
could even be the same guy, just using
Probably.
a different name. Yeah.
Probably.
But anyway, Rich, I'll tell you what, mate. It's 21:12. I've got to go in 3 minutes, so we're gonna have to call it a day on this live stream.
All right, my friend.
It's been very, very enjoyable.
This is the thing.
I've actually really enjoyed the conversation today, and
Yeah,
me and you have had a bit. Me and you have had a bit of a debate online as well, haven't we?
Oh, did you copy that comment, that private chat comment, Rob?
I tried, but I couldn't do it.
Right. I'll copy it now while this is still open, and I'll post it if there's a comment section below the video. Okay?
Yeah, post it in the comment section. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Or somehow I'll get it to you if I'm not allowed to post links on your comment section, because a lot of people that comment links on my videos, they get deleted.
You can't post it on here. Would you be able to post it on your YouTube channel? Can you post it on that?
Post what?
That link. Can you post it to your YouTube channel, your own YouTube channel?
Oh, I can do that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, people can click on it from there, then, can't they?
We'll find a way. Yeah. Well, I'll try and get it under your video, but if all else fails, because that's the links I've shared are actually part of the video that is sort of one of the many videos I'm working on at the moment. Like I said, I got some really good footage the other day. I think it was yesterday. That's some clear pictures, some clear images of the letter J or the number I or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And there are a few people that are interested in seeing it because they're quite rare. I've been getting these really old plaques and inscriptions. They're quite rare. Getting things from the 1600s.
Right.
They're quite rare. Because history, before 1850,
Yeah.
not a lot of actual factual guaranteed
Exactly.
history.
Which makes me think something major happened during that period of time before 1850.
Yeah, it's quite and then just everything sort of you know, how can mankind at that specific moment in time learn how to do all these things, just the simple things with fire, you know, like steam engines and things like that. So, you know, I can pretty much see that the Egyptians would have had the mindset to work out that steam generates a pressure, and that will drive a pump. And you know, the Egyptians were one of the sort of master thinking races, or as we're led to believe. You know, so history is. I think it's like reset.
Yeah, the Great
But,
Reset.
if you've got one of David's books under the mattress, then another comment, Rob.
Oh, let's have a look. We have. Right. Well, I'm a bit concerned about that message, so I'm not.
That's made up, Rob.
Yeah. I mean, if they go on YouTube, they'll find him anyway, won't they? You know what I mean?
No, it's made up. He's taking the piss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or she.
Right. Well, anyway,
Yeah.
the live stream is now coming to an end, Rich. I
All
would
right,
just
my
like
friend.
to say thank you very much, Richard, for joining me for the last 2 hours and 15 minutes. Well, 2 hours and 16 minutes.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure talking to you as always.
Thank you, Rob.
And thank you
Likewise.
for all the subscribers and all the people that have joined us. Come in with your questions and your comments. We really appreciate it. We love you all and appreciate your feedback. And Richard, it
Yes,
just
my
says, it's time for me to say it's goodbye from me.
Adios, my friend. And it's I don't like goodbye.
Well, all right then, adios.
Tataruan. That's bye, my love.
What language is that?
Welsh.
Oh, Welsh. Oh,
Yeah.
Richard, nice to hear you sober. That's my Welsh.
All right, Rob. Later, my friend.
Take care, Rich. All the best, my friend.
And
Bye-bye for now. Thank you, everybody.
bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Just spread.
Goodbye.
Nice. Catch you
Bye-bye.
later on.